Everyone is a customer in some sort of thing if you've bought anything in your life. Okay, welcome back everybody. So let's start this off with one of Warren Buffett's famous quotes. Price is what you pay and value is what you get. So first, let's talk about what price, cost and value are. Obviously I've added cost in there, throw that in there, a little extra. When we make a commercial transaction for a product or service, there must be an exchange, which is the price, which we give in money. So cost is basically the production of the goods or the delivery of a service. So the basic elements of cost are the labor, the overheads, and the materials. Value is what a customer perceives that product or service to be to them. So obviously we've all been a customer in a shop and looking around, and the first thing that you look at when you pick something up is the price. Then we deliberate in our heads the price and what we think it's actually worth, and then we make an educated guess to think it's just going to bring value to me in exchange for the price. So we have different characteristics of value. So first we have it's immeasurable in nature, because something can have more value to an individual than somebody else. For example, for someone who is struggling with bad eyesight, let me just get my specs out still. Someone who has bad eyesight, glasses are very valuable for my day-to-day, or contacts. If you have perfect vision, glasses are gonna have no value to you, maybe aesthetically, but you get my drift. So next we have value can vary from time to time. So for this one, say you're studying at school and you need some books and you're going through the information. In that moment, that information is very valuable. It's going to help you pass your exams. It has key things that you need. Whereas when you've passed your exam, that book no longer has any value really to you. Like you can pass it to your little cousin or something. But so another form of value is basically supply and demand. So if you have something that is very valuable but it's low in demand, that makes it more of a grab. People want it more because it's really rare, really valuable, but it's like really like low key. You can only get a few of them. That kind of increases the value. Here we have value can differ from place to place. Similar kind of to the glasses one, but warm woolen clothes or puffy coats, that would be more valuable to someone living in a colder country, whereas in a beach settings like really sunny, it's not really going to be that valuable. Usually people buy things if the value is higher than the price. So let's start off with a little example by this channel called Future. You've probably seen a little skit, but to sum it up, someone wants a logo. This guy's charging 18 grand. Obviously this is like hypothetical. You want a logo, it's going to be the face of your brand. You want a quality design, it's 18,000 pounds. Obviously your brain's firing away. You're thinking 18,000 pounds. Is this brand, is this logo worth 18,000 pounds? So you go on to ask him, like, how much do you charge an hour? Because in your mind, you're thinking the quicker he does it, the less I have to pay him, and I'm still getting a quality logo. So as per video, he answers $200 or pounds. And obviously you think, oh, maybe that's a catch in comparison to the initial quote of 18k. But then the question is, does he have any incentive to do your logo faster? Because if you're saying that if he does it quicker, you're going to pay him less, then the opposite is also true. If he takes longer, that means you have to pay him more as well. So the lesson here is that you're being punished for being good. So you spent years in the craft, building up your experience, that you are now able to build a logo, a quality logo, in 1 day or less. Value is an individual's perception, but that initial perception is not always right. You may be getting more value than you expected or less. Of course, this is hypothetical again, but you could get someone for cheaper, but then they might be less trusted. You might have to build your trust and see their work. Whereas this person who has spent their time getting their price up to 18,000 pounds, they've obviously got a reputation of being very good. They have a portfolio of work, people like rave about them. So it's kind of a gamble. Obviously, me personally, really depends in it. It depends on the context, because if you're a big brand, let's say like Coca-Cola or something, what's 18,000 pounds? When that logo is going to touch every single thing from like little business cards to aeroplanes to, you know, anything. The price you're gonna be charging to strip everything and change everything, like it's worth it. But for the average Joe, maybe not. So leading off that, we was talking about the price being really high. If you find something where the price is actually too low, even though this product could be better than something that's £100 more, sometimes you can associate that low price with having bad qualities and traits. This can lead to having a really harming and negative perception of your company, because let's say you have a sale on or your prices are low. If you leave that price low for too long, people only see your product or service at that price. Value can also be manipulated. So let's say you have 2 coffee machines and you have a really expensive one, which is double the price, and then you have the other one, which is half the price. Usually companies will put these 2 next to each other because instantly your eyes divert. You're not thinking, I'm not paying £500 for a coffee machine, I'll pay £250, just for example. Are these extra little perks I get with this double the price coffee machine worth it? And what the study showed was basically that people tend to go for the other one twice as much because it seems like more of a bargain. And another thing is, lots of companies do free prices, like say McDonald's, you got small, medium, large. Normally they put the medium price just within range of the large one, where you think, I might as well spend the extra £1 and get the large meal, and then you end up spending more. Or perhaps you've been online shopping and you've been seeing loads of those countdown banners or like attention ones where you're like, you do this now, so that you're kind of forced to have an impulse buy, especially if you want that product and you have less time to, you know, scale up. Reading the reviews and your research, all that stuff, it kind of rushes you to just make that impulse buy. And then for a lot of people, their eyes are bigger than their stomach, or in this case, bigger than their wallets. And then you make the buy, and then, you know, it's in God's hands whether it brings value to you or not. Yeah, a lot of online stores know that there's a stigma with shipping, and that people can really abandon a cart once they see they need to pay like £10 for shipping. You think, I could buy some food with that. You know what I mean? So usually what the stores will do, they'll just add the price of the shipping onto the product. You have the perception that you're paying all your money on the product when really you're not. But this way it's more of a digestible price and people are more likely to go through with it. Now we got, you know, your brand, your social approval. Say you have a plain white t-shirt, you can buy for like £6, cheap anywhere. Slap a Gucci sign on it, Dior sign, any designer, you're looking in the hundreds for the same shirt. For example, these shirts could be made in the same factory, but you're not really paying for the shirt. You're paying for any of the negative or positive connotations that this brand has. So obviously it's going to be positive. And usually that comes with having a like status, prestige, having a lot of clout by wearing these clothes, and then gaining attention. In any given time, there's always that cool product to have. When I was in secondary school, my first few years, the popular phone was the BlackBerry. I remember one of my cousins, they opted to having a BlackBerry over iPhone. They think, well, what was I doing? Rest in peace to BlackBerry. In today's time and age, like, everything's designed, everything's flashy, like, you know, expensive cars, and usually that comes with trying to grab the opposite gender's attention and flex against your own gender, do you know what I mean? But really, just to understand value is just being the customer, because everyone is a customer in some sort of thing if you've bought anything in your life. So you just know that what the pros and cons are when you're buying something. If you're looking at reviews, looking at the quality, doing a bit of research. Sometimes it's the peace of mind of buying something that you know is more expensive, but you know you're getting a good quality product that's made for that product. So for example, the other day, I replaced my Bose headphone pads, these pads, and I've had them for about 2 years or something. You know, they've gone through their paces, sweat, grime, all of that. Yeah, I went on Amazon, did my research, and you can find some cheap ones like £10, £15. And the reviews were decent, but for me, it was just the peace of mind of knowing that I'm getting a quality product that's made specifically for that product, and it's hopefully going to last me just as long. Yeah, so this idea came from a book. One of these books here. This book here. One sec. Know the difference between price and value. I was kind of excited by the idea of it, did a bit of research, and obviously this is the video here. Ironically, hopefully you was able to gain some sort of value from this video, and anyway, in a bit.